You're someone who never really stops. So I hear you're going back to the Maldives.
A lot of the filming they've done in the past, you know, that very curated stuff where it's like, here's the champagne, we're in a hot tub. I've been here literally 15, 20 minutes and there's a whale shark. Unfortunately, I was fully clothed. I rolled up my trousers and I sat on the end of the boat and I just put my feet in the water and I looked at this thing and I was like, this is insanity.
Hello everyone and welcome to Scuba with Sarah G. Today we have an amazing guest with us.
Hello.
World traveler, documentary maker, underwater photographer, overall good human being. We'd love to know more about you. So you started diving in 2008 when you were just 20 years old.
Yeah.
Tell us a little about that introduction.
Yeah, so I got into diving because my grandfather was in the Royal Engineers in the British Army. And I remember as a kid, vaguely, I mean, not vaguely, I do remember, in his garage, there was an old diving bell helmet. We're talking like
Wow.
early 19th century style. It's still used to the 1950s. And I believe because of bomb disposal, he used to do it. And I was always fascinated. And I was always like, oh, I need to try that. I need to try that. I need to experience this. Looking at old YouTube videos back in the day and going, oh, diving looks so cool. Forgot about it. And then I came to Dubai, moved here, and I was like, huh, there's lots of dive shops here in Dubai. And I think this is the greatest opportunity to try it. So I went and I did the DSD, the Discover Scuba, and was like, oh, this is crazy. This is amazing. Went to, I think it was in Fujairah, it was the Fossil Rock. What's it called? Snoopy Island. Yeah. So went there, went around the Snoopy, and yeah, the Barracuda was amazing. The visibility was amazing. It was a super lucky day, actually. Even the guy was like, I remember him saying, wow, it's not had this much life in ages, And after that, I was like, right, open water, let's go through the
Did you
whole
just like
thing.
do all of that one after the other?
I didn't do one after the other. I did the open water and then I did the advanced straight after that. And I was like, right, I've got that in the bag now. And yeah, then I had a big gap. I didn't do any other courses for a while because I was like, I just want to enjoy diving, and just went around and did leisure dives, pleasure dives in different places. And then, yeah, and then as time rolled on, I was like, I want to get more into it. And then I got involved I went to Indonesia, to Bali, about, how long has it been now? Like 4 or 5 years. So I spent half the year there. Just before I went, I did my rescue, and then I started doing my DM, and I didn't finish my DM.
We can help you with that. Don't worry,
please
we'll
help
get you
me with
finished
that.
with that.
Yeah. So I need to finish that. But yeah, and then after that, I was like, yeah, I want to get into doing some sort of video underwater and photography. Started with GoPros and Insta360s, such as yourself, you have.
Yes.
And then I met a friend of mine called Ash, and
Your life changed?
yeah, well, yeah, experienced guy, used to teach in Gili Tea in Indonesia, and then we met at a party and got talking, and then my whole universe kind of expanded into underwater world of photography and filming and stuff. So here I am.
I loved what you said to me earlier when we were chatting. You said, I describe diving as life, love, and therapy.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah. I mean, it changes your life. Like, I think the life part is it changes your life. Once you're underwater, you see everything with a new perspective, because it doesn't matter underwater. What's going on up there does not matter. Yeah. You can't change anything around you. You can't do anything. You've just got to be in the water in that moment. And that's kind of how life should be anyway. You should always be in that moment. So I see that. The love aspect as well is you fall in love with it, and you meet lots of friends, and the community you get involved with is really nice. And yeah, it's kind of just like a bit heart opening. You kind of just go, oh, these are amazing
Peace and love,
people.
yeah.
Yeah, peace and love. Yeah. Very hippie.
Yeah, #happy hippie.
Yeah.
You did mention Ash, you mentioned Rob, and I'm sure you have so many other friends all over the world because you're such a friendly guy also.
Yeah.
Tell us a little more about your adventures internationally, the people you've met, and the experiences that have changed your life with diving.
Yeah, so actually, so I'll go back a bit. I was in Croatia for a wedding. Gosh, when was this? This was
Dates don't matter, don't worry.
Yeah, I can't
No, we
remember.
want the passion and the emotion
Yeah,
behind
okay,
the
yeah,
story.
yeah.
Don't worry about the dates.
So yeah, I think it was like 2016, and I was in Croatia, and I was there for a wedding, and I was like, I wonder if you can dive in Croatia because I never heard about it. And I found these random dive place in Dubrovnik, and these guys were ex-military divers, serious dudes. And then we did a couple of fun dives, like nothing too deep. And then they were like, "Oh, we're going for a bit of a kind of early morning secret, not supposed to go dive. I won't name names."
No, no, no.
And I became kind of friends with them on that, and they took me to this old World War II U-boat wreck, and I think it was like 60, 70 meter dive. It was like a serious dive, and we did that with no bottom time at all. It was like a couple of minutes.
Touch and go.
Yeah, it's a very touch and go. I was a bit like, "Ugh." And yeah, so I met those guys, and then we became friends. I'm still in contact with them. And then yeah, I've been to like the Maldives recently and met loads of amazing divers on there, as well as my friend Ash who went with me. Loads of different cool people, photographers, underwater filmmakers and stuff when we were on the boat. And yeah, just growing this community. It's hard to explain really. It's just kind of, and I've got a friend Martin Ahmed who's like the macro genius of Bali. Like this
Wow,
guy, I don't know how this guy does it. He's got like some radar built into him. He can find a nudie like 1 centimeter from like 40 meters away. He'd be like,
that's
"Oh, it's over
crazy.
there," and I'm like, how? Like what?"
It messaged me on WhatsApp.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Unless he's got like GPS tagging of where
Yeah.
these nudies are. Yeah. So I mean, it's all these different people and elements that I've met through it, and it's super interesting. Like I don't know how it's kind of happened. It's just a bit of a blur. It's like you start diving, you meet people, you go here, you go there, you meet different characters, you help each other. I think it's the helping each other, the community as well.
And
It's
learning
like
from each other as well.
yeah, learning from each
Yeah.
other as well. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Tell us about your story with Ash. He pretty much sounds like a mentor in your life.
Yeah, yeah. So when we started, well, when I went to Bali and I met him and we got chatting, I think what happened is last or 2 summers ago, I'm very lost at how long ago, we went to Ahmed together and did some diving, and he was kind of like, "I've got a spare camera, come with me. We'll go out and do some fun dives." And then that was it really. We hit it off as mates, like we get on really well. He's from the UK and I'm from the UK, and we were just chatting, laughing, having a great time. And he showed me everything that he knew about underwater photography and
Wow.
filmmaking, and I was pretty blessed really. I mean, he's kind of like opened my world to all of this. So
And then you bought his camera off him.
yes.
And now what's your next step in this journey?
Yeah, well, I've got that camera, the RX100, and it's great for photography and it's also good for video. It's a bit older for video now, but it's still very usable for even the modern age. People get a bit hooked on like the latest and greatest when you can still shoot 4K on this
Of
tiny
course.
camera. So you don't need much else. And yeah, I think in the future we're going to, well, myself, I'm going to get like a proper underwater video housing for my bigger cameras, the FX3s from Sony, and hopefully get into more filming underwater and stuff like that. But the thing is I do a lot of land filming because I
Mm-hmm.
work in film and TV. It's quite nice the escapism doing underwater photography because I don't have to think about like especially with nature, I don't have to think about like lighting and da 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 da. You do a bit, but you don't have to really think about it's really hard to explain. You just kind of you're focusing on that one thing and
You're being
for
in
a
the moment
photo.
again.
In the moment
Yeah.
again, yeah, you're in that moment. And with the filming, I feel you're not as immersed personally. Underwater filming, I don't feel as immersed as photography because you spend so long looking,
And not
waiting,
moving.
not moving, trying to
Belly
be,
breathing.
which is everyone knows who dies is super hard when you're just
Yeah.
trying to be as static as possible
Yeah.
and trying not to hit the bottom and just
Yeah.
be like, tense
Yes.
and breathe as well.
Yes.
So it's yeah, it's just kind of that focus and that escapism from it that I like. So yeah.
Talking about documentaries, videos, film, you did also mention you're going somewhere exciting. You're going to Saudi and you're going to be exploring pole fishing. Is that right?
Yeah, so apparently what it is next week there's going to be the old fishing boats they have in the UAE and Saudi and GCC,
The dows.
the dhows, yeah,
Yeah.
the dhows. They built them for racing.
I just learned something new. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
they build them for racing.
Okay.
So we're filming racing but also there's also they're going to be doing a cultural park thing in the Red Sea project, and they're going to have pearl divers going down and everything. Unfortunately, I'm not going underwater with them for this one. There's some other guys doing it, but yeah, it's great to see like the old ways that things were done.
Honestly, it's pretty amazing that we have so much equipment and technology at our disposal right now. But
Yes.
these guys used to literally grab a rock,
Yeah.
put a nose clip on, and just dive for pearls.
It's crazy.
And this was their livelihood. They weren't even doing it for fun.
It's crazy. And they go deep as well,
Yeah.
right? They go like 30, 40 meters. some
Have
of
you
them,
ever seen
so-
someone doing this before?
I've seen videos, but not in the old ways at all. I mean, obviously there's modern free diving now and stuff, but and apnea diving and all this, but I've never seen the old way of doing it. So it's going to be fascinating to see how these guys do it. And these guys are all like heritage guys and stuff, so they've been taught the proper ways of their ancestors and
course.
stuff. So it's going to be pretty cool. I mean, I hope they're safe.
I'm sure they're safe.
Yeah,
they have
yeah.
hundreds of years of experience backing them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
So,
so I'll tell you a small story, but when I first came to the UAE, I visited the museum here, and they literally had natural ACs. Just by the way they layered the palm leaves on the
No
top
way.
of their house, the wind would come in, cool the house, and even leave. That's how
what?
smart these people are.
Wow, it's the most simple technologies.
seriously.
And it just works.
And
Like,
it takes you back to nature because you once you're connected, you see things other people don't see.
yeah, that's crazy. I'm gonna smash a roof in top of my house now. Remove all
We
the
can try one
ACs.
right here.
Yeah, save some money.
Talking about free diving, have you ever tried that?
I've not tried free diving. No, I used to a bit a long time ago spearfish, which as divers is it's a bit
Okay, we're supposed to
controversial.
eat too.
Yeah, supposed to be. But I mean, I actually don't eat fish anymore. I kind of it's funny because with the diving side of things, the more I dive, the more I was like, I don't want to consume fish.
For sure.
And I stopped. So with the spearfishing anyway, I used to do a bit of free diving, but I was never that great at it. I mean, I never had formal training. So once I'd had the proper training, then I'd be able to do it.
As long as you don't shoot
Properly.
yourself or your
Yeah,
buddy, we're good.
yeah. But now I wouldn't do it for spearfishing. I'd do it just for the sake of free diving and going down and stuff. I think that'd be quite fun. I tell you what, I've got a very small story.
Sure, you can tell us big stories too.
Big
We have
story.
lots of time, no stress.
I was in Bali. There's a wreck there called Liberty, the Liberty wreck.
Very
It's
famous
a very
wreck.
famous
Yeah,
wreck. And I was there, and there was some free divers at the top, and it's the weirdest experience ever. I was kind of very close to the bottom, and obviously you're seeing everybody else with BCDs, cylinders, regs, everything, and you're kind of like, okay, diving. And this guy just came out of nowhere, past me, deeper. I think he must have gone to like 45 meters.
Yeah.
It's no joke. And
Yeah.
I was like,
On one breath.
what am I witnessing here? And he was so relaxed as he came down. He was like a torpedo just coming down. And I was like, that's cool. Like, that's a serious skill set to have,
is.
and training and mental like skill set to have that to
They
do
literally say free diving is all here.
that. Yeah.
It's all here. The calmer you are,
crazy.
the deeper you can go, the longer you can hold your breath.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, I watched that guy and I was like, and he had all the, that sort of camo gear on, the one-piece wetsuit camo gear. And I was like, this is insane. It was like something out of a movie like James Bond. I
Exactly.
was like, whoa. Especially when you're on like with a cylinder and everything and you're just breathing and you're like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
It's like having training wheels on your bike and then watching the guy with the Harley whoa.
Yeah, I felt I was cheating a bit. I was just like, okay, I'll just take this off. No. Yeah, so it's I think one day I'll try it. Maybe get some training and stuff to do it. I'd like to give it a go. Definitely like to give it a go.
Amazing. You're someone who never really stops and you're always off on new adventures.
Yeah.
So I hear you're going back to the Maldives.
Yes.
Tell us about the last time you were there. What were you up to?
Yes. So last year, me and Ash, same guy again, we went to the Maldives through a contact of his called Mario, and he's the managing director. I hope that's the right title for him, of Scuba
The
Spa.
big guy.
He's one of the bosses,
Yeah.
bosses of Scuba Spa, and we made a documentary about the staff on board the vessels, because a lot of the filming they'd done in the past was about that very curated stuff where it's like, here's the champagne, we're in a hot tub.
No emotional connection.
No
to
emotional
it.
connection. It's just, it's so luxury, which is fine.
Yeah.
But for this, it was more about the staff and the interaction. Who will you meet on this vessel when you come on board? The dive instructors, the guides, all the crew. So we did that for 2 weeks, and it was amazing. I mean, the Maldives is, as you know,
What did you get to see? Where did you get to dive? Tell us.
I've got to remember the locations. I'm very bad geographically.
Okay, the names are quite complicated. We'll
Yeah.
forgive you.
Yeah,
Tell us
yeah.
what you saw though.
So what we saw the first night, I got off the plane on the island, went on the boat to go out, the tender boat to go out to the main vessel. Got on, literally sat down. They gave me a coconut, had a quick chat with everyone. Hi, hi, hi. And then ding, 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 a bell rings. And I'm like, oh, what's that? It's like, whale shark. I'm like, well, what? I've been here literally 15, 20 minutes and there's a whale shark. And I
Was
went
this your first
back.
whale shark as well?
First whale shark ever.
Wow.
Unfortunately, I was fully clothed. I had
It's
all
okay,
my
you can
gear.
still jump in.
I was so jet lagged as well. I was like, I think I'll do. Well, they were like, there'll definitely be more. But I sat there. I mean, I rolled up my trousers and I sat on the end of the boat and I just put my feet in the water and I looked at this thing and I was like, this is insanity. Like, I'm watching a whale shark. Just like, even his nose was just popping
Out
out
of
the
the water.
water and coming back in, and I was like, this is madness. Like, this is the first time I've ever seen a whale shark in the flesh, and it was a junior as well.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even big. It was like maybe 4 meters, I think, or something, 3.5. And yeah, that was the first day. And then we went to another diving spot, which there's a port there, and there's loads of sharks around there.
Shark Tank, that's what you
Yes,
went. Yeah.
yeah. We went down there and saw a very, very big and I think heavily pregnant bull shark. I mean, she was huge. She was about the same size as that juvenile whale shark. It was the biggest thing I've ever seen. I was like, what?
Were you scared at any point?
No, I wasn't
Okay.
scared actually. I mean, as you know, it's not scary at all.
Not.
Being
Just
underwater.
people think it's scary.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
not scary at all. I mean, sharks are not scary. I don't find them scary at all. I mean, watching the power of them, that's more inspiring than
I
scary.
would say respect than scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The massive amount of
Majesty, like,
respect.
wow.
Yeah, exactly. Like seeing them feeding and the way their jaws move and kind of semi-extract out of the lips, whatever you call it.
Yeah.
And yeah, just watching the vastness and the power of them was just diabolical. And then there was hammers there. I think there was a couple of scallops.
Spinner sharks as well.
Spinners, we saw
Yeah.
loads of spinners on that trip. A lot of spinner
They move
sharks.
so fast.
They're rapid. They're actually a bit more scary than the bigger
Actually, they
sharks.
are because they move so fast.
Yeah, because they dart and
Yeah.
kind of like.
They're like a cat, like can knock
Yeah,
anything over.
Yeah, the biggest thing I always watch out for is triggers. I mean, everyone watches out for those because there's some big triggerfish over there. And I remember just taking a photo. I've got a photo somewhere of really close of a triggerfish, and I was like, "Why am I doing this?" It's this moment. I was like, "Why did I get so close to that?"
Have you ever been bitten by one?
I've had one go for my fin.
Okay.
I have had one go for my fin. Yeah, I've had a triggerfish turn and kind of darted it, and then he left. Luckily, but I was like, nah, don't like this. And barracudas as well because they're a bit like they can right angle
Yeah.
turn at you. So
Not like a truck.
no, not like a truck. But yeah, we saw so much stuff there. Mantas, tons of different rays, mobulas. It was crazy. It was a really intense trip.
Let's touch a little more on the shark diving that you did.
Oh, yes,
Because I really
yeah.
want to share that passion you seem to have. Your
Yeah.
eyes have completely lit up right now.
Yeah.
So tell us more about like when did you first start diving with sharks? Who educated you about this? Were you
Yeah.
always not scared of them, or like is this a acquired superpower?
Yeah, I've actually never been that scared of them. I mean, to be fair, like we're in their home, right? And they're in their habitat. And I think what people forget is we're not small. Like humans are not that small. We're quite big objects. So when you're next
You
to
just saw a whale shark and a bull shark, and you're saying that?
yeah. Okay, whale sharks are big. Yeah, they're very big, but they're like puppies of the sea. So.
Yeah, okay, I'm just kidding.
I know,
Go on.
I know. But yeah, I've never really been that scared of them. And the first time actually diving with sharks was here in Dubai in the Dubai Mall Aquarium. I did some volunteer dives there, helping clean the tank and stuff. And they've got the sand tigers there. I mean, they're super docile, those things. They kind of just float around and go.
Yes,
"Ugh."
they are.
Not that I'm that happy they're in a tank, but that's another story.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was the first time, and then I think apart from that, until Maldives, I'd only really dived with sharks, sort of like reef sharks and stuff, which are black tips and white tips and stuff, which are
They don't count.
no, they don't really count. They're just like large fish. And then yeah, the Maldives was my first proper experience with
So
like.
did they give you a briefing? Did they educate you a bit, or did you
Yeah.
just jump in?
Yeah, they gave us education. They told us like what not to do, how
What
to
did they tell you?
approach.
Tell us. Share your.
Gotta try and remember. A lot about keeping your hands in, keeping your arms in, no excessive kicking, flapping, making movements to startle them, and just generally not approaching them, letting them approach you, not approaching them,
Yes.
which is the main thing. So Which is pretty, I think for me, is a logical thing to do anyway, because if you see a gigantic predator, you don't tend to go, oh, puppy. So yeah. Oh yeah, the ones that I did like a lot are nurse sharks. I mean, I love nurse
I
sharks.
love
They're one
them
of my
too.
favorites in the planet because, I mean, they're so gentle.
Yeah.
They don't really care about you. They just want to eat.
Yeah. I was in
They're
the
a bit dopey.
Maldives and they did a little dive with like hundreds of nurse sharks.
Oh yeah,
And there was a guy I met on the boat. I was traveling solo. He
yeah.
got so scared because I was so calm. He started pulling me by the fin because he thought I wasn't aware this is a shark. Nice guy, yeah. But literally, I had to
Yeah.
tell him they're not going to do
They're
anything. I
not going to do
promise you.
anything. They're not. They might bump into you, but then
Yeah,
they're just like, oh, like, and they just move out the way. So,
exactly.
yeah. So, I mean, I love them. The nurse sharks are amazing because they're kind of the same look as all the other sharks, but without the added danger.
Yeah, and they look so badass with their little teeth
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. And
little
people are
teeth and
like,
the
you went
little,
diving with that? And you're
yeah,
like, they kind of just eat like,
yeah, yeah. They're just more curious than anything else. So yeah, I think Maldives was the first proper time with sharks. First proper. I remember we were in the boat. This was pretty wild actually. We were in the boat doing at night time. There was a whale shark, and me and Ash, and nobody else was around. I think one other girl decided to get in the water. Everyone had gone to bed, and the crew were just keeping an eye on us because we were kind of just fins and mask and just taking photos of this whale shark feeding off the back of the boat
from the water, yeah?
from the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in the water. We're in the water. And Ash looked down and saw something dart, and I was like, "What's that?" And I climbed out, and I was like, "I'll have a look from above, see if I see anything." And I saw it again, and he managed to take a photo, and it was a juvenile tiger shark. It was a really small tiger shark was darting along, and we were kind of just like, as soon as he saw that, he was like, "I'm just gonna get out now because I don't know where its mum is." I mean, I know they're not like that, the sharks, but he was a bit like, "There's tigers around here at night. I think I'm gonna hop out."
But did you do any tiger shark diving?
I didn't get a chance. No, it was the whole trip we were trying to look for tiger sharks. Unless we went to the deep south, obviously, we didn't manage to go that deep. So next year, I'm hoping to do some tiger
You
shark
should put
dives.
Fumula on your bucket list.
It's on there. It's big on there.
It's
Yeah,
incredible.
yeah. I really want to. I really want to go there and see
I went
them.
diving with up to 11 tiger sharks in one dive. That was it. I was like,
No,
now I can go home.
no way.
Yeah,
That's crazy, and they're big, right?
of
They're
course they're
huge.
big. And again, that's why I asked you about education because these guides are just brilliant.
Oh,
The
really?
briefing they give you, they show you a full presentation, including
Oh,
body language. Can you imagine your briefing starts with you
wow.
need to look the shark in the eye?
Really?
Anybody who hears that the first time is like, you must be kidding
Yeah.
me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
Like,
semi get it though. Yeah.
but yeah, sharks
Yeah.
respond to body language.
Yeah, and their fins, obviously, the positioning of their
Yes,
fins,
yes,
like down
yes,
or
yes,
up
yes,
and
yes.
stuff. Yeah,
And
yeah,
your body position, even though I cracked a joke, you're absolutely right. We are pretty big and we can look intimidating to these creatures.
yeah,
So if you
yeah,
just,
yeah,
you suddenly become so big instead
yeah,
of
yeah.
just
So
a
that
head.
you're just this tiny object, then
Yeah,
you're a snack.
yeah, you're a snack.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, definitely, I'm
Now
gonna
you're a
have to.
full pizza.
You're a full pizza. Yeah, you're a shawarma now.
Exactly. I like that.
Yeah, no, I think yeah, next year I'm definitely gonna go down there. I'm
So
gonna go
next year
down
you have
there.
Maldives and you also mentioned Philippines. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so 2026, I think, the same company, Scuba Spa, they're building another boat. It's called Palau, the area, and I think, hopefully, I mean, I don't know if it's 100% confirmed yet, but I think we're going to go filming there and do another kind of documentary about maybe a bit more in depth about the vessel and try and get customers to come over there. But I'm looking forward to that because I've never dived in the Philippines, and I know actually in the Philippines there's thresher sharks over there.
And
So
nudies,
oh yeah,
nudies.
lots of nudies. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So hopefully, hopefully I'll see lots of that. So yeah, that's 2026. Yeah, that's the plan. And then I'm not sure exactly when though, but it's gonna happen. I hope it's gonna happen.
I'm going to just pause there and say you have such an adventurous life. And trust me, from the outside, it's like a movie. Yeah, like I'm going here, I was there, I was with Tiger Sharks, I was. If anybody ever wants to come along to be your camera assistant or help in any other way,
Sure.
like carrying your bags, can they reach out to you, Tom?
We can go to our website. It's a bit long to. I wish I made a smaller
Tell us, just tell
website.
us. It's
It's
okay.
www.twrichardson.com. filmmaker.co.uk.
Okay.
And my contact details are there, or
That's
you find
easy.
my email.
Yeah.
Yeah, you find my email on there. It's very easy. But I mean, if anyone wants to, I love it to have people around and stuff. It's very
Have you ever
helpful.
mentored someone? Has anyone actually come on any of these adventures, or
Never. I've taught.
even locally? I mean, like, yeah,
Yeah, I've taught. I taught with a mutual friend of ours, Jenny and Ali. I taught
summer camp, right?
summer camp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Media.
Didn't you come
No,
part of
no, no,
that?
no. I just know
No.
all about it from
You
the
know
outside.
about it, yeah. Yeah, I did some teaching of film and that. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was really nice. I mean, kids can be difficult, and these kids weren't. And it was really nice to sort of show them the ropes and how to do it and everything. So it'd be nice to teach people some stuff. Definitely teach them some stuff.
You also have the magic ingredient, which is patience.
Yes. Yeah.
You can make anything fun, and you have patience. So that's what makes you a good teacher.
Yeah, that's the key, I think. That is really the key. I mean, I've got a lot of patience with people, but with cameras, no, sometimes I don't. Technology sometimes really grates my teeth. So
You are someone who suffers from gear acquisition syndrome.
Oh,
So
yeah.
tell us what you have hidden in that big box at home.
Yeah, I mean, so for my underwater stuff, I've got the RX100 with a Nauticam housing. I recently acquired some Big Blue dive lights off a friend of mine, and trying to sort of work out a deal to get some sort of sponsorship from them. But I think I need to rank up a little bit till I get that. And they're super great lights. I mean, they're punchy. I mean, they're really powerful. You can only use them at like 2% at nighttime. Otherwise, everything will just vanish. All the plankton
your
will
own
come.
eyes
Yeah,
will
my eyes,
vanish.
yeah. It's crazy. And then that's for my underwater setup at the moment. And I'm looking to get a Merlux housing for the A7 IV or the FX3. But I think the A7 IV is a better bet because it's photo and video camera. In the future, for ground filming, I mean, I have a stupendous amount of equipment for on land filming. I've got Sony cameras, lights galore.
You can literally buy a house today if you sold that stuff.
Yeah. I did the maths once of how much I spent over the years, and I don't know if I'll repeat it, but I kind of looked at it and went, that's where my money's gone. I could be a millionaire. Right? No, I'm joking. But yeah, I've spent a lot on equipment over the years,
Advice to beginners. So, like, I just started my journey as a videographer.
Yes.
I think it comes down to the storytelling
Yes.
and an eye for short details and knowing what to put together and
Yes,
what to look out
yeah.
for while you're shooting.
Yes, yeah.
But when it comes to equipment, what would you recommend for beginners to buy
Yeah.
without breaking the bank?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, like, we live in a great age. It's 2024, and technology now is just astronomical. I started filming, this is the land filming, on film reel cameras. That's how I trained, and
That's
tape
mad.
cameras.
Yeah.
And we're talking like these things weren't even HD. This is
Yes.
like 570p. So now the cameras that are available to people, anything you get is pretty much going to be good. That's what I say. So you could just get a GoPro to start off with, or as you have an Insta360, and just shoot. Like, as simple as that. Just go down, just find cool subjects like sea creatures or as a wreck or something.
Put the
go
camera in the
through.
tiger shark's mouth.
Yeah. Strap a GoPro to top of a whale shark. Bye.
I've actually seen documentaries like this, trust me.
No
I'm
way.
serious. There's a guy who was reviewing the Insta360 and he says, look at the housing, there's barely a scratch. And then he shows you the video, it went inside the tiger shark's mouth. I'm
That's
like,
crazy.
okay.
I don't know if that's allowed. But
And then I saw a shark documentary where they were doing research.
yeah.
And they actually tagged these small little cameras onto the sharks because,
Oh, I have seen this.
for example, the
yeah.
sardine run,
Yeah.
you can't physically really be there, you know, there's
No,
too
it's
much
so
happening.
fast, yeah.
So they would just put this camera on and get a live feed from there.
Crazy.
And even to record shark feeding habits, because definitely you don't want to be in the middle of that.
No, you do not. Not a frenzy. No
So yeah,
way.
the shark makes a good photographer and videographer.
Wow. I want to see whether he gets more money spent. I want to get a camera to put on a tiger shark. But yeah, I mean, I think cameras you can put on, you can get anything these days.
So you did say like explore, have a curious mind, but
yeah.
let's be real, you do need some basic like understanding of this equipment and how to use it.
Yeah.
Is YouTube enough, or should you go for a course? Or...
I think to start off with, YouTube's fine. If you don't want to spend money, you can watch. There's so much available online now. You can watch tutorials from underwater camera experts, all the way from the beginner level to like the high advanced guys who are using huge housings with 20 lights and da. So YouTube's good. A course is definitely worth it. There's definitely, I think even in Dubai, there's some courses. Some somebody had a course here. I can't remember who, but anyway.
For diving and photography?
Yeah,
Wow.
somebody did. I think it was to linked with Sony. Some guy linked with Sony. I'll find out.
Sure.
So, Tim Matthews.
Yes.
Yes.
There we
There we
go.
go. Yeah, it was Tim. Yeah. First and 10. Yeah. So with those guys, they do it. So you can do courses, you can do online. I think just getting the principles of framing is the key thing. You don't need to worry about lighting in the beginning.
Okay, teach us a little. Like rule of thirds, we all know of this.
Yeah,
but
rule
what
of
else?
thirds.
Anything else?
Watching for your so obviously you got your subject, and then if you want to kind of like make it more creative, like obviously anyone can just point a camera downwards into something. So try and avoid shooting down underwater, that's for sure, because it's just going to be flat. Because of coral and everything, you're not going to definition. So always horizontal or
What
some
about the
sort
other
of
way around? Like
up,
Okay.
up as well. Yeah, up as well. It's lovely when you get the sun and you
Yeah.
get backlit subjects. It's always nice, especially turtles. You get a turtle with the sun behind. That's always nice. Yeah, I think that's a good starting point. And also using foregrounds as well. So say you've got like some nice colourful coral here, and there's, I don't know, an eel in his eel hole there. Maybe try and get like a bit of the foreground of the corals and the eel's head poking out, because it's nice, especially if you do a bit of movement as well. Like the great thing about being underwater is you don't need a gimbal, and people have gimbals on land because the water's
Smooth.
zero gravity,
Yeah.
so you can just go. It's very easy to do those kind of
Yeah.
smooth transition shots underwater. So I think that's a good starting point. And then lighting later on.
How important is lighting? Let's touch on that, especially if you're diving in the daytime and you want to go down.
Yes.
What do we need to invest in?
I think, for photography, strobes are important, even at night, even in daytime. Sorry, because the direction of light is always from the surface, from the sun. So it's always very important to have strobes to sort of counter it, or match it from where the sun's coming from to lift it up and get the colors out of fish or corals or whatever you want to do. For video, it's not as important during the day. I feel it's still. Actually no, let me rephrase that. It is important. So say you're doing macro stuff, for instance, during the day, you definitely need lighting because you're so close. You need to illuminate that
Got you.
subject. If you're doing, say, a whale shark
No.
in the middle of the day, no chance. You're going to need these lights
Yeah.
underwater to be able to light up a whale shark. So during the day, not as much. Nighttime, obviously, nighttime is very key both for photo and video. Having those great lights is perfect lights. And obviously you can do the UV lighting as well with the filtration to pop colors.
Snoot lighting.
Snoot
I learned
lighting,
a new word the last show.
Yeah. I've got a snoot at home. It's a very small one. So nighttime lighting is definitely key because it's night. Like you're not going to
sure.
see anything unless you've got an amazing, never seen an underwater night vision camera yet. But maybe there is one out there. I haven't seen one before.
It's 2024.
Who knows?
Who
Maybe I'll
knows?
invent one.
Exactly. Also, I didn't forget, you shared a secret with me earlier. One of your favorite dive spots, Seraya Secrets.
Yes. Yeah.
Tell us about this. How can we get there? What can we see there?
Yeah, so in Amid, in Bali, in Bali, in Indonesia, in the north, there's a place called Amid, and it's along the coastline near Tulamban, and it's an amazing macro spot. All that coastline in Amid there's wrecks, but there's amazing macro photography there. I think it's some of the world's best, personally. I'd say it is because it's really, there's frogfish, big frogfish, small frogfish, nudies, eels, everything you want to capture, like
Wow.
little tiny shrimps, like everything. And Soraya's like that. I went there, I think, it was this summer I went there, and we saw, I think in the space of like 20 minutes, it was a field day. I think we spotted like 32 nudies or something in one go. It was insanity. I was like,
That's crazy.
yeah. Even Matt, who was with me, and he's my friend over there. He's the macro king. I call him that. He was like, there's one. Take your pick. So it was pretty cool. And also that is another small crazy story. That spot is special to me now because it's the first time I felt an earthquake underwater.
It's kind of scary, but kind of cool.
Kind of cool, kind of scary. It was
Did
a
you
night
see
dive.
things moving or?
It's the weirdest experience. So basically we were descending from a shore dive. We're going down, and it's like, imagine a tanker going above you. It sounds like that, but you feel the pressure waves pushing your chest, and then all the silt went zero gravity up because it was
Straight
very
out of a
still.
movie.
Yeah, zero gravity. It was like something out of Inception or something. It was crazy. And then it stopped. And I was like, this, and especially with a night dive, it was wild
For
because I
sure.
was like, it's pitch black in the abyss of nothing, and you feel that just with my camera lights, and I was like, ah, and I signaled to Matt. I was like, should we? And he was like no,
Wow.
just carry on. So yeah, that's why it's special to me because it's super hard to explain. I've tried to explain it to so many people. It sounded
By
like
the way, you're very good at explaining things.
oh
Yeah, I
really?
can literally
Oh
close
cool.
my eyes and imagine everything you just
Oh
said, and
really? Oh that's good.
it
Yeah.
is still scary, but yeah, it is
Yeah,
cool
it was
too.
just booming. It was like an iceberg cracking or a tanker going above. I think the iceberg cracking's better because it's like that kind of big booming
Mm-hmm.
sound, and you just felt the pressure waves and then the silt moving. And the fish as well was interesting to watch the fish because they didn't know what to do. They just go in circles because they're like,
It's like a
where's
washing machine for them.
yeah, it's crazy. It was really crazy. And then it settled down, so it was weird. And it was a 4.5 magnitude as well. So it was nothing to be worried about for that region, but it was still a lot. So yeah, that's why that place is special to me.
Thank you for sharing your secret with us.
No worries.
On that note, you have been diving all over the world.
Yes.
What would you say are your top three, either like dive boats or dive centers or dive guides or people we can reach out to find these cool places?
I think my top places in the world for guiding. There's a couple I met in Maldives who worked for Scuba Spa called Charlie and Alexis, and they were awesome. I mean, they were such sweet people, and they're both photographers. Really nice, really good fun to be with. Super professional. They were just awesome. I think they're freelance now. They're traveling around the world. I think they're in the Red Sea. They're in Egypt at the moment
Wow.
diving. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They're everywhere. I mean, I can't keep
Just like
track
you,
of them.
Tom.
Yeah, yeah. No, but they're more. I'm just like, where are you guys now?
I'm in the UK now. I'm in
Yeah,
Saudi
yeah,
today. I'm
yeah,
back in
yeah.
Dubai for 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, they're awesome. My favorite diving spots, I mean, Ahmed, as I said, is like one of my favorite places. It's shore diving. I love shore diving because you don't have to deal with getting on a boat. You can just get your gear on, walk out straight into the water. Beautiful. And obviously Maldives. I mean, nothing compares to the Maldives. I mean, you can go any part of the Maldives and you'll see something amazing.
Just
So
throw a stone and you see something
yeah,
nice.
exactly, exactly. I've never seen anything like it, and the lushness of the coral there and the colours were just vivid, and schools of fish, the vastness of schools of fish. I was like, oh, this is healthy. It's nice to see a healthy reef for the first time
For
in a
sure.
long time. So
Yeah. Not bleached and white.
no, yeah, yeah, which is a shame. I mean, for me, Fujairah still holds a place in my heart because it's the first place I ever dived, but it's not as healthy as it used to be.
Snoopy Island is still going strong though.
Snoopy's still going
Yeah.
strong. Yeah, Snoopy's still going strong for sure. Yeah, it's still very good down there. Some other smaller spots, I think, are suffering a little bit. Maybe I can say. I don't want to go out of turn, but
No, you're right. It's global
feel
warming. The water's getting
yeah,
warmer.
and the shipping lanes there and
Yes.
stuff.
And
So
construction as well.
yeah, it makes me sad to see that. And I mean, even here, I mean, I used to dive off the beach here and stuff. You can't do that anymore in Dubai. That's a shame.
Yeah.
That's kind of gone now. I mean, you can for training a bit further down the coast, but it's not like it used to be. I sound so old. Back in my
Yeah,
day.
you sound old, especially when you think of a date. I don't remember when it was.
Yeah.
Like, Tom,
Told
you're
you I'm
not
getting
that old.
old.
It's okay.
But yeah, they're my favorite places. Yeah, and Alexis and Charlie were awesome. They were really good fun to be with, and always a good laugh on the boat and cracking jokes and stuff, and funny underwater as
And
well.
what about your friend who owns a boat? Like, does he accept people coming along?
Yeah, I mean, he's still building it. He's done diving. It's funny, he's not really a diver
Okay.
particularly. He just has sons that dive,
Okay.
and I think I don't know. He's kind of keeping it personal for himself at the moment. I
Got
think
you.
he wanted to take people on board, but maybe he changes ideas very quickly. So
Creative
sorry, Rob.
types.
Yeah.
Creative types.
So maybe he's yeah. I think maybe in the future maybe we turn into a proper business and get people on board, and because I want to dive Komodo. I mean, I haven't been
Take
Komodo
me too,
Islands.
please.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
love to come
we'll
to
go
Komodo,
together.
yeah.
Yeah, because I've heard some crazy stuff about that place. So that's high on the bucket list for sure.
So, looking at you and now hearing more about your journey, I already knew this before I started, but you are a true adventurer. You love to push the boundaries.
Yes.
And you never really say no to an adventure.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
No.
But for normal people out there who think 10 times before making a plan, just tell us a little more about why you think diving is actually very accessible and not
Yeah.
as difficult to plan as most people would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, the age we're in now with scuba diving, you've got so many associations. You've got PADI, SSI, and all these other people, and they literally take care of everything for you these days, and it's amazing. I mean, you go do your training course. They provide you all the materials, rigorous training as well, like to the
Safety
highest.
comes first.
Safety comes
Yeah.
first, yeah, highest caliber. Every professional is a professional. It's not like you can just write on your book, I'm a professional.
No, with the star.
Yeah. You have legal license documents, and it's very safe these days. It's super safe to go diving. It's not like the old days. It's been safe for a long time actually, and I think if you're questioning about doing it, you just got to do it, because it's literally, I don't know a single human being on this planet that has dived, even when they've had struggles in the beginning with, like, say, like they can't stand the mast, they're claustrophobic or spitting their reg out
Yes.
and stuff. Eventually they get over that,
For
and
sure.
then they're addicted, and that's it. Like, I don't know a single person that's not been addicted to it. Even my own mother, I took my mother
Are you
diving.
serious?
Yeah. I took her in Fujairah,
Wow.
and she did her open water a long time ago. I mean, she struggled massively at the start 'cause she's older, and then she thoroughly enjoyed it after like a few weeks. And now, I mean, she's done it. She did the bucket list. She didn't
Yeah,
carry on with it,
yeah.
but she did it.
You've inspired me to take my mom now.
Do it. Yeah, do it. Yeah, do it. So yeah, I mean, my mum loved it. It was great fun.
Thank you so much for being on our show. It's
Thank
been
you
a
so much,
pleasure getting
Sarah.
to know you better
Thank
and
you.
hearing about all your exciting
Thank
adventures.
you so much.
And if people want to reach out to you, tell us your website one last time,
One
please.
last time, it's www.twrichardson.co.uk.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
See you on the water.